Hello and welcome today.
But remember, this circuit also has some of the most difficult high-speed corners on the calendar. So let's not push our luck.
So yeah, good morning, good afternoon, hello and welcome today. That was my race engineer Jeff then there speaking in the F1 2018 career mode. And now it's time for the Belgium Grand Prix Spa-Francorchamps. My throat's a little bit sore today, so I'm not going to be doing too much talking. I'll talk through practice, first few practice session, and then maybe do, and then for the rest of the video, I'm not going to do any commentary sort of thing. And yeah, you know, basically, Belgium Grand Prix, round number 13, one of the most difficult tracks on the Formula 1 calendar. Let's get into it. So first starting off with the track acclimatization here then at the Belgium Grand Prix. Once again, like always. So, as I said, this track is one of the more difficult tracks on the Formula 1 calendar. And you'll probably see why it's one of the more difficult ones on the F1 calendar. It's a roller coaster of a journey, this track is. And it's a proper old school track, this is then. So, you know, plenty of things. So right now we're running a older engine, just to let you guys know. So into the first turn, out of bus stop chicane. So into turn one, heavy right-hander hairpin, and this is pit lane exit just to right then there, where that Toro Rosso car just come out of. Then down into a Rouge, up through Radion. And this is Radion actually, just to let you know. Funny joke that is, technically this is Radion, but we're going to do that again. It's only practice, so there's no need to get every lap right. It's a tough corner, because obviously it's blind, especially the exit. Down the long Kemmel straight then. Getting a little bit of a toe. Hitting top speeds of 200 miles per hour. Before braking zone. Now, tough corner this one, easy to get wrong, easy to too much curb on the exit. Then off camber, this corner here really pushes out the car, slides from underneath you. Down the hill then. Now, coming up to one of the fastest left-handers in the Formula 1 calendar. So, going a little bit wide then there. On a qualifying lap, doesn't really affect you going wide through there actually. So into the next right-left hander, and these corners are all medium, and I love this little section here. It's quite nice, especially in a top-end car. So using some old parts actually right now. If you have a look, engine is a yellow instead of usual colour of a green. For qualifying though, we'll be putting green or brand new units in, just trying to take away some mileage on the others, trying to balance out the mileage between them, and that's what I'm going to do to get to the end of the season. I'm going to use this engine a few times. So we are currently in 6th, so this practice may not be representative fully, especially with the worn engine units. Bit wide through there. Up through Radion. Down the Kemmel straight. On a qualifying lap though, this is a very, very long lap indeed. So I'm only going to do the one practice session today. And then we're going to go into quali. So right now, doing all purple, which is good. One green. So into our next right hand up. Tough one to get right, this one. The balance of the car feels better this week. And then we're flat out all the way to the bus stop chicane. Into bus stop chicane. And up to the line. What's this going to be? A 151. So we're going to return to garage. We might try the race pace program. See how we do on that actually. Quickly. If we do well, going to do a flying lap out sort of thing. And then that will be the last practice program we do before heading into qualifying. We'll do 2 laps. Well, we'll do first lap. If we go green, we'll continue on. 1 red, then we're going to quit sort of thing, if you know what I mean, and get into quali. So right now we're ahead of our teammate who's committed a lap. Let's see what our teammate's done.
Say again, you're breaking up.
Teammate status.
Their best lap time is a 1:51.2.
So 1:51.2. So out of the final corner, out of the bus stop chicane, up into turn 1. Overshooting first hairpin. Down the hill then. It's a long run down the hill into a Rouge. And then up through Radion. And you're flat out all the way from a Rouge. Down the back Kemmel Straight. So, down the hill then. The elevation change on this track is quite big, of course, because obviously, you know. So right now we're going red. So this may be us not continuing, we'll have to see. Unless we can claw back the necessary time. But right now we're going green, so it's going to be close. Right now up 4 tenths on our delta, but we are down on engine power significantly. Into bus stop chicane once again. Powering our way out of bus stop chicane. First lap goes green, so we will continue on. This is technically, just to let you guys know, the first chance, I believe, of points for our cars. When I say cars, I also think Sorokin can have a good race here, because it is actually a very much engine-powered circuit, even though it does have quite a lot of technical corners, but it is also a lot of engine here, and very much little about the aero package, if you know what I mean, right now. Right now, Verstappen all the way down in 14th, to my surprise. So, ragging it around that corner there. And we're more or less now at the bottom before we start climbing a little bit up the hill. Now, if you ask any Formula 1 fan, this is literally the dream circuit to go to as a person, honestly. It's just an amazing circuit, this circuit is. To drive, it's a proper man circuit sort of thing. Like, there's only a few circuits, I think, on the calendar that are proper men circuits, if you know what I mean. Monaco is one. I would say this is 2. Hungary is 3. 4 must be Italy. And then the 5th one, of what I can say, would have to be Singapore. These are like the most drivers' circuits on the calendar. And this is where you can tell the difference between the good and the great. Because the great will come at their best here, like Sebastian Vettel, Lewis Hamilton, Michael Schumacher. Whereas the good will only do okay at a circuit like this, if you know what I mean. Like, this is a proper driver's circuit. Anyway, in terms of how we're doing, we're in P15 right now. Look like we're going to get purple practice program score, which will help us in the resource points and the development of this Williams. Obviously, we're one of the worst cars at the moment on the field and in the grid. But hopefully, after a while, we'll be able to become one of the best. So, out of the final real turn, then it's more of just a drag race to the line. And it comes down to engine power here. Obviously, we're lacking a bit of that at the moment. We're going to put in a few new components for quali. I'm just going to use a flashback quickly. Don't use them much, only use them in practice. So, and now and again in the races when I feel there may need be one. So there we go, that is the practice program done. And time to get into quality for the 13th time. In terms of practice program, good E. That is good. And let's go into qualifying.
Classification at the end of the session.
So
here are your top 3: Magnussen, Hamilton, and Daniel Ricciardo.
So we finished 17th then there. It's not bad.
We'll be back with more F1 action soon.
I feel at the moment though, in all honesty, even though we're 17th and our teammates last, I think at the moment the times aren't really reflective of what's to come. And I feel like there's certainly a lot more potential to be unlocked from the car, which I think, you know, will be a good thing, obviously. I think this is our best opportunity until Italy to get points, and Italy will be our best opportunity all season.
Enjoy that. You made it look easy. Would you say your rivalry is friendly, or are things a bit tempestuous?
I wouldn't really say we have a rivalry with Sergei Sorokin at the moment. I haven't really gone up against him in a proper dogfight. So I'm just going to put it's a friendly competition sort of thing at the moment.
You left some body work out there on the track. Were you struggling for grip?
I'm just going to put it's nothing that won't buff out. The car, yeah, I'll just put that sort of thing, you know.
Appreciate your time.
Because, yeah, you know, I'm not really, you know, as I said, you know, I think the rivalry between Sorokin, that question's a bit stupid. Because if you have a look, maybe at the start of season, for sure, we were quite close to our teammate. But now we seem to be at least always a second ahead of our teammate. In practice programs and in races. Or we seem to be easily beating our teammates. So I wouldn't really say much is on between us, if you know what I mean. I'd say I'm having a better battle with the likes of Charles Leclerc and Marcus Ericsson at the moment. So yeah, in terms of our reputation, well, that's increasing. Looks like Alfa Romeo, Toro Rosso, Honda are very keen on us at the moment. Haas also looks quite keen as well, alongside McLaren. Mercedes and Ferrari starting to take note of what we can do. Red Bull Racing, Force India, and yeah, really Red Bull Racing, Force India, Mercedes and Ferrari all seem to be on the same page length, I would say. So in terms of our reputation, obviously it's going up race by race. Now just going to change a few components. so we're ready for quali. We're on our final engine now of the season, so this will be the last engine change we can make. We're also going to put in some new bits and bobs to help us. Also, we're going to be on... Oh no, I don't want a third, I only want a third, jeez. Right, we're also going to now put in a second one of those. Or are we on the third? Oh no, we'll be on a... We're going to put on a third one of those then. So that's a third. And we're also going to put a new MGUK or whatever that is, I think. Control electronic. So we're getting a lot of now new power units, obviously, in the car right now. We're just doing a juggling act to right now prevent taking grid penalties. Because once we hit that plus button, that means we'll have to take grid penalties, and that could really decrease our chance of points. We won't have to take grid penalties in the next few rounds. However, we might be taking a penalty by the time we get to Abu Dhabi. I'm not quite sure. Also, we're getting a new gearbox this race, so that'll be quite fun. Obviously, gearbox rule is every 6 races you can change your gearbox, plus you get 1 practice race and practice gearbox. And I'm gonna actually take a new practice gearbox for the next event sort of thing, because obviously 51% that you know, it's quite worn, if you know what I mean. So, you know, I'm going to have a new gearbox, new engine. So we're going to have really a fresh power unit, effectively. So I'm only going to do commentary for the qualifying, and then I'm going to be silent throughout the race. So, here we go then, at Spa, one of my circuits on the Formula 1 calendar for round 13 of the FIA Formula 1 calendar. What can we do for a 13th time in our career, and hopefully we'll do enough to qualify in a decent position. Obviously, it's not going to be easy. This circuit in some ways helps our car, but in another sense, at the same time, I feel like it's a negative for our car, because obviously the circuit is a weird one. It certainly has a lot of good features that helps our car out, but at the same time it's a very technical one at the same time. So we're going to have a look what's behind us. Absolutely nothing's behind us. I'm going to give a tow off Charles Leclerc for our practice. So we're going to save our battery here. So obviously, I'm following Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc right now following Max Verstappen, or one of the Red Bulls, I believe. I believe it's Max Verstappen, because I'm pretty sure I saw Max's name tag. So here we go then. Just warming up the tyres through one of the fastest left-handers on the Formula 1 calendar, this is. And yeah, you know, obviously one of the fastest corners on the Formula 1 calendar. Majority of the corners here are pretty damn fast. But obviously we will have to learn how to handle that. Alright, anyway, coming out of really the last final corner in the technical section. Next stop is qualifying, so here we go. What can we do? Turned up the engine, everything's in maximum power mode now as we head into the bus stop chicane. That will give us plenty of energy in the MG, I meant in the air system, and out of the final corner, bit slidey on the exit, but across the line we come to start our first official flying lap at the circuit. Into the first corner, a bit deep. That won't affect us too much, because obviously you do get good drive if you do go deep. Anyway, down the hill, then up through a Rouge and Radion, down the Kemmel straight, hitting now 200 miles per hour exactly. So let's see what this Williams can do in a straight line. 206, can we hit 27? I don't think we did. So 206 from that. So not bad. Whether we picked up a tow or anything, that's a different question. So down the hill then. Staying in 7th gear through there. Not quite flat in this car. So sliding our way through some of these corners. Really bumpy and aggressive then. So now only got one more corner to negotiate, or 2 more corners to negotiate, or 3. So this is 1, so 2 more corners to negotiate, and we've hit off. So that has probably binned our lap. We're going to complete the lap anyway. So yeah, we slid off then through the fastest section. So 2.5 seconds is the difference. Obviously it would have been a lot closer, maybe ahead of Charles Leclerc, who knows. So we're going to come back to the pits anyway. So yeah, so that's first lap done. It's a long lap here though, so obviously it's a lot of corners to get right, but at least I know there are places where I can improve. And look how cold the brakes do get down there. This straight is incredible, and then you have to go into this like braking zone knowing your brakes are stone cold, literally. And yeah, you know. So I just got on the curb a little bit.
There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining.
So I'm gonna also empty a bit of the fuel, because I feel like we've got a lot of fuel on for the next lap. So obviously we're only gonna have time for 2 laps here. Realistically, I don't think we're gonna have time for 3. I don't think it'd be worth having a 3rd lap, especially here, because realistically you want to sort of focus on a in-lap, out-lap sort of thing, and in-laps and out-laps here can be weird, if you know what I mean. Sometimes I like to have a slow out-lap here rather than a fast out-lap, whereas last time I had probably a fast out-lap. So I'm going to go for a slower out-lap next time. But yeah, right now we're at the back of the grid in 10th. I believe we're the last car. So that's where we got a bit too much on that curb. And I just saw what I'd done there, if you know what I mean. So we're getting a bit too much curb there. So we're going to stay a bit away from that curb next time. Tricky pit lane entry, this one. Close to the wall. And in we come to the pit. So second lap will begin in about a few moments time, and then we'll go hopefully in a good position. So we're about 2 seconds off Max Verstappen at the moment, which I guess it is realistic to be 2 seconds off Max, but at the same time I would like to be closer. So obviously into the garage we come. It's a bit dark. However, no rain is forecast. So, you know. So we've got 11 minutes actually, surprisingly. But I'm not going to go out for a second run just yet. I'm going to wait to the last few minutes. So we're going to practically get to see a few sector times. See who's done what. So right now, we are in 19th to let you know. Wow. My teammate is a long way off. 4 seconds. Wow. Where are we losing this time? So I lost a second in the last sector. So a second puts me into the likes of Ericsson. But my teammate also lost a second. Wow. He lost a 2.3. So actually, yeah. Yeah, realistically, I'm taking that realistically as a bit of a so right, we're gonna now go out for our second laps here. But yeah, our teammate is actually further behind than I would have thought. I thought my teammate would be roughly in the same region as me. Well, he is, but I made a mistake in the last sector with about a few corners to go, whereas he made the mistake in the middle sector by the looks of it. So neither of us getting in great laps. But the good news was I'm actually very much on it in the first few sectors. So gonna have a bit of a slower outlap here. Gonna stay out of the way for this car here. Charles Leclerc, who's on a flying lap. So we've got a few on a flying lap. Also gonna stay out of the way of the car behind me, which is Sergio Perez. Now we've got a bit of a gap to the next car. So, but they're also on flying laps. We're on only out laps at the moment. Now I'm just working out where is our best gap, because these lot are going to be on in laps by the time we get round to do our lap. So it's a bit of a weird one, this. Obviously don't want to impede anyone. So right now me and Sorokin are in P19 and P20 then here. So what can we do for our final lap here at the Belgium Grand Prix in quali? My throat's a little bit sore, so after this lap I'm going to give it a rest sort of thing. So taking a bit easier out lap than here. Alright, we're going to go now. So then we're well clear of Magnussen, or one of the cars, house cars. So out the final corner. So he didn't maybe have to go that quick out the final corner, but into turn one. This time taking a slightly nicer turn one, in fact, I would have thought. But on the Delta, losing out just a tad. So, flat out through Rouge and Radion, down the Kennel Straight, gaining time, gaining a lot of time then. And the checker flag is out then. So, we're up on our previous best through so far our sectors. Down the hill then. And doing a decent job so far, but in terms of our overall lap time, but in a minute you're about to see where we lost all our lap time on our previous lap. Right now we're 6/10 up on our best sectors, so it certainly wasn't through here where we lost it, but we're coming up to the precise corner where we lost just over a second, and there it is, as the time will now plummet up in our favour. So we lost about 1.8 seconds. What will this be? I have no idea where it puts us. Let's have a look. P15. A brilliant lap then from us. And that is enough to get
As we
P15.
wind down from the excitement of qualifying, here's a look at your top three. Vettel, Raikkonen and Lewis Hamilton.
So there we go.
It's time to leave for now, but
P15.
we'll be back tomorrow when the Grand Prix itself gets underway.
So he did a fabulous job then there. My teammate. Not there then, oddly. Again. It's now, how many races have I out-qualified him? Like, he out-qualified me in a few of the first few. But since, I would say, the Spanish Grand Prix, no, actually, since maybe the British Grand Prix, or just after, maybe the German Grand Prix, I'll say the German Grand Prix. Since German Grand Prix, my teammate has been literally nowhere to be seen. Like, you know, I am literally doing great laps. Like, I would say this car currently is in the region of the Toro Rosso and the Sauber. Right now, as you can see, that's the times Marcus Ericsson and I have done in that region, but for whatever reason, Sergei Sorotkin's just not quite getting there. Right, I'm going to do enough commentating now, so now time for the Belgium Grand Prix.
Well done. That was a good qualifying performance.
In the 48 races held at Spa between 1950 and 2015, the race winner has only started from pole position on 16 occasions. Qualifying yesterday may have set the order for today, but expect the unexpected here at the Belgian Grand Prix. As the saying goes, of course, anything can happen. And you know what? It usually does. So here we are once again at Spa-Francorchamps, with 19 corners, 9 to the right and 10 to the left, and a lap distance of 4.35 miles. An average lap speed in the dry here is around 145 miles per hour. It's a very quick circuit indeed. We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Sebastian Vettel has a clear track ahead of him today. He starts in pole position, and Kimi Raikkonen completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Ricciardo, Valtteri Bottas, and Verstappen, Ocon, Grosjean, Perez, and Charles Leclerc, Magnussen, Hülkenberg, Carlos Sainz, and Alonso, Russell, Ericsson, Pierre Gasly, and Brendan Hartley. Sirotkin and Stoffel van Dorn completes the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Okay, don't worry about making places into one, it's far too tight. Concentrate on a clean exit so you get good momentum down the Kemmel Straight. Our system checks are good. We need to stay in formation and start bringing the car up to temperature, please. Get some load into the tyres and work the brakes. We want them nice and warm by the end of the lap. expected. No rain expected for the time being.
softs.
battery charge is high. Let's increase ERS deployment to up the pace. DRS has been enabled. A new strategy is available on the MFD. Got that confirmed. Caution, caution. Green flag. Some information on Ocon. They are out of the race. If you think you can get past, increase ERS deployment to overtake mode. We're leading our teammate by 27.6 seconds. Sergey is in the pits. Sergey in the pits. Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track. Okay, you're in the top 10. Increase ERS deployment. It's time to use some of this charge. Gap to car in front is 2.7 seconds. We have 5 laps of fuel remaining. Right, we need to get past here. Use overtake. Use overtake. target is +1. Faster engine modes are available.
So what happened there, folks? A hair did go in my eye. That's why I did actually pause the game just a second. Few moments ago. But anyway, that's when I spun and had that little moment after, you know, some sort of hair going in my eye. So I just thought I'd tell you. And yeah, very odd situation. It's very you know, painful when that happens, if a hair ever gets in your eye. Yeah, you know. Anyway, we're having a good race. P7 right now. Only a few laps to go. Shortest race of the year in terms of number of laps, but longest race of the year in terms of lap time. Here comes Perez. Will he go around the outside? What a dick. He turned in. Let's have a look. Why did he turn? I hate the AI on this game, man. I'm going to use a flashback here because, right, I'm on the inside. Yes, his car's significantly alongside, but my turning zone isn't even arrived yet. So, oh, idiot. So, the AI in this game, just to let you know, sometimes can be a bit stupid, if you know what I mean, and it sort of wrecks the game because obviously, yeah, it wrecks it. Like, the driver on the inside dictates the line. So right now Perez dictates the line, but now Perez is also going to dictate the line. Oh, Kimi Raikkonen is out of the race. Then here at the Belgian Grand Prix. Oh, balls. I did mess up there. I lost like downforce, front downforce. It's falling away this race, but we're still in the points somehow. Like in terms of skill wise, I sometimes have these moments where the race falls away from me, but that's us back up into P7.
Okay, clear.
Then, so only a few more laps now. I'm actually happy. I think the first 4 laps were pretty damn decent. And yeah, you know, we rewind back to the start. Wow, what a start. First corner, I was alongside both Force Indias, which is the car in front, and I've actually had decent race pace. It's been good enough to race. I think it would have been good enough to contend. I don't know whether it would have been good enough if I didn't make such a great start to get points. Who knows?
3 laps of fuel remaining.
Right.
Good job. Nice
So obviously Perez just in the that wall there. Perez will have such a bad drive. Look how close Sergio is, so we're just gonna let him pass it. No point of defending. Gonna utilise that slipstream. Also gonna turn up our engine.
The gap behind us is 2.4 seconds.
So it looks like we're gonna get some points here today. And this will be the first time, everyone, we have finished a race inside the top 10 and inside the elusive points. And I believe we will have moved up, or will be the first out of us and Toro Rosso to score points. And we may be closer to Sauber now. Pretty sure Sauber had 9. We're gonna have 6 after this, so Sauber are gonna also have 4. So Sauber, so yeah, we'll be also closer to Sauber. Right. Oh dear. It's not Rallycross, Julian. I actually made a mistake there. Again, sort of made a mistake, off character mistake then there. Or when turning up the engine, I sort of lost control of the car, sort of thing. Right, anyway, we're gonna now utilise everything we've got, full engine modes, everything possible at this final lap then. So,
This is your final lap of the race.
final lap. Final lap of the race, then here, up the hill, flat out now, no DRS, so no drag reduction this time. Charles Leclerc closing in. We're not quite up to par with Perez
There's only
then.
1 lap of fuel remaining.
So let's bring home the P7. So we're gonna be now doing a slightly defensive drive all the way to the flag. So who's gonna win? It's gonna be a Ferrari. It's gonna be Sebastian Vettel. So Sebastian Vettel is gonna take also the lead of the championship, I believe, from Kimi Raikkonen, his teammate. So Sebastian Vettel wins the Belgium Grand Prix to now take the lead of the championship. Valtteri Bottas getting the fastest lap as well for good measure. But Vettel takes the lead of the championship now over from his teammate. But we come home in P7 to take our first points finish. A brilliant result from us. So yeah, a brilliant result then. So Vettel
Another excellent win from Ferrari.
taken first, giving Ferrari another fantastic win. Ferrari's had so many wins in this career mode so far this season. It's unreal now. Ferrari's certainly on top of Mercedes right now, but it's still going to be close between Ferrari and Mercedes. In fact, Ferrari might have lost some points in the constructors due to Raikkonen's retirement, but we coming home in P7. Don't know why we look disappointed. We should be happy. So Vettel first, Bottas second, and Lewis Hamilton third. Of what I believe, or is that Lewis second? No, Lewis is second. Bottas is in third. So yeah, it was very close between though Mercedes and Ferrari today once again. So yeah, Vettel will take the lead in the Drivers' Championship. So there we go.
And now
So-
let's take a look at the driver's standings. Sebastian Vettel
Ooh,
takes
will
the
we get
lead
drivers
of
of
the
the day? Let's see.
Championship. Now then, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
I have to give it to Russell. They pushed
There we
and
go.
pushed and found some fantastic
So-
performance. It was just a pleasure to watch.
And now let's take a look at the constructors' standings. We saw a dip in form from the championship leaders today. Their lead has taken a significant blow.
So yeah.
After all that excitement,
Thank you.
it's time for
Cool.
a lie down, I think.
Right,
Thanks for
so
joining
yeah,
us.
Sebastian
Goodbye until the
Vettel
next
doing a
race.
great job then there, taking home the race victory. However, in all fairness, there was a lot of chaos in that race, but the two Mercedes didn't cause any chaos, finishing in 2nd and 3rd. Verstappen in 4th, 5th is Magnussen, 6th is Sergio Perez. We take home driver of the day plus 7th. Driver of the day don't really mean many things. Bit of pride, I guess. Sauber, Charles Leclerc in 8th, and Renault Hulkenberg 9th, and Kevin Magnussen in 10th. But let's have a look at the standings. So Vettel, as I said, taking the Drivers' Championship lead now by only 9 points. First time he's actually leaded the championship this season and leading the championship this season. Kimi Räikkönen in 2nd, first time he's actually been in 2nd this season, has led every round in the championship since Australia, but now he's been overhauled by his German rival. Lewis Hamilton in 2nd and 3rd, and 4th is Valtteri Bottas. However, the big movers in the championship is obviously Sebastian Vettel. Valtteri Bottas now up from 5th into 4th. Sergio Perez from 8th now to 7th. Kevin Magnussen from 10th now into 11th. And from 11th into 10th, who overtakes once again his teammate. However, we are the big movers from P17 all the way now up into P15, which is a fantastic result. And we are now the first Williams driver to officially secure a point in this career mode for Williams. McLaren's Stoffel Van Dorn still has 0 points. Same with Ericsson, same with Gasly, same with Hartley, and the same with Sorokin. But we are the first Williams Formula 1 driver in 2018 in our career mode to score a Formula 1 point. Now, what it does mean, though, for constructors, once again, no one moving ship at the moment in the Constructors' Championship. Everything remaining the same, so Ferrari still lead quite dominantly Mercedes, then from Red Bull Racing, followed by Renault, followed by Force India, followed by Haas, followed by McLaren, followed by Sauber. However, obviously 6 points does take us a step closer to McLaren and Sauber, which is great for us. However, obviously still a long way to go. And Toro Rosso still lacking. So let's have a look at some replays, should I say, from that race. So here's the start then. Let's have a look what happened. So yeah, everyone, we made a reasonable start. Didn't make the best time well, but didn't make the worst start. As you can see, we're that white car. So we're ahead right now of the Sauber. But everyone seemed to go to the left here. I just thought, why don't we go down the inside? And that's exactly what I did. I took advantage of clearly everyone leaving room and free aside there. Wow, I didn't even know there was a third car on the outside. Let me have a look. I knew there was obviously 2 there, but I didn't know there was a third actually participating for one piece of track. So on the onboard, as you can see down here, you may have seen I did lift off, but that was because I only lift off because I thought our race was going to end literally there and then, because literally we were so close to the barrier. How close were we to his rear tyre? Whoa, that is close. I knew we were close. Whoa, look how close we were, and just look how close we are actually to the wall. That is unreal, honestly. Like, I've never been that close to probably crashing out, and at the same time taking taking out someone. Wow. That is just so close. Look at that. Literally. You couldn't fit a leg in between that gap, honestly. But, yeah, you know, a very close then fought affair then between me and Ocon. But I did lift. But then, obviously, because I lifted just enough, I had a good slipstream up the Kemmel Straight. And that's exactly what I had. And then at this moment, I'm just literally closing. Now I've pulled out. Now I've picked out. Free aside. Didn't even know if I was free aside going into that corner. Wow. Who loses out the most? Let's have a look. I know there was a little bit of contact, but it was between the teammates. I actually avoid all the contact. And then I just I squeeze a little bit out. Come back to the left. And damn it, oh, just a little bit of contact between me. So, he sort of ran into the back of me there. Like, as you can see, he did not. But then, he didn't brake. Like, yeah. I knew I felt a bit of contact. But yeah, so that cost him. And that was costing him a lot of time, of what I'm aware. Because obviously, as you can see, from it, pulled out a nice gap. And yeah. So, lap 2, I think we did get overtaken by one of the Haas, so let's have a look. So we're driving quite good up to this point, so there's the Haas who's chasing us, and yeah, we get overtaken. Here it is, I believe this is the move. Magnussen pulled off, so we sort of go to the left, defending the inside line, but yeah, you can just see how much more power, literally, before the braking zone, he was about a good meter in front of me, and by that time game over really, because I don't think you can see from here. Yeah, I could have dive bombed, or I could have, went for it, make a lunge, but I thought it's probably going to result, and look how good them two are battling. Whoa, them two are literally toe to toe then there. And probably costing themselves time in the meantime. But yeah, we just stuck behind, and we played this actually quite clever. We just stuck behind. We didn't really fight much. We just tried to stick behind, follow as best as we could, and that's exactly what we did. We did make 1 or 2 mistakes, yeah, for sure, during that race. But at the end of the day, one of the mistakes I made was in lap 4. I can't remember what happened. But one of my more recent mistakes on Perez, But this was actually where the drama started here. I don't know how he survived. Didn't he have any damage? What? You're safe. Okay, Codemasters, if you would like to watch, just a quick one. If Codemasters do watch this video, then please explain. Because I thought the damage model was meant to be very good this year. The Red Bull's front wing comes off, which you'd expect. The Red Bull tyre comes off. However, what doesn't come off is K-Mag's front wing. It is still there, and not even a bit of it's broken. Not a scratch. And I did well to avoid all this, because I literally, from my view, I'm pretty sure you were seeing what happened in my view. Literally, that's my view, and I thought, geez. I just see, I didn't even see, at this moment, I didn't see a Red Bull. I see now a Red Bull, or a car of whatever description. Can't tell which one it is, but then I realised it's a Red Bull, and now I'm like, okay. I do run over the debris. I should have had a puncture there, I think. Yeah, easily should have had a puncture. So 2 punctures in fact. So I've run over debris. Nothing happens to my tyres at all. But more importantly, as you can see, this car here is a brick. It's not a car, it's a brick, honestly. To do that, I think that car should be disqualified. But yeah, it was a good race overall. Enjoyable one. And we picked up our first Formula 1 points for Williams. And yeah, we can't be disappointed in that.
Good day today. Tell us about it from your perspective.
So let's have a read.
You gained a lot of positions during the race, didn't you?
I certainly did. I'm going to say it was great the car was sticking on the track, because the car was good,
It's
undoubtedly.
safe to say you're smashing
but
everyone's
yeah.
expectations, isn't it?
The standard of racing from all the drivers have been high throughout the season. I don't know, maybe not. I wouldn't say that. Maybe they. I'm gonna put F1 as a team sport, and yeah, you know, because it is.
You scraped the walls a few times. Were you struggling for grip?
I'm just gonna put no comment because I don't remember hitting many walls. Okay, yeah,
Right.
for sure I did have a few moments, and I just used a few flashbacks, but like that was the first one was actually okay. I'll hands up. Admit I made a mistake. The second one, Perez went into me. The third one, I had a hair in my eye, literally, and it was painful. So I couldn't really. It was blocking my vision a little bit, and that's why I spun out after the Camel Straight. And yeah, you know, like I said. So after that, our reputation has increased significantly. Not only in the Williams team, but also in other teams like Toro Rosso, McLaren, and Sauber, and Red Bull Racing, or Red Bull Toro Rosso. So yeah, first points of the season. Can't be disappointed with that. Let's have a read. Good going out there. We were worried about a couple of potential reliability issues over the weekend, and especially in the race. So to get through it, that gives me a chance to breathe and try and root out some underlying problems to make it to the end and come away with a good result. Please, with a good result pleases me to no end. So well done. So yeah, good result. And happy to be recognised. Contract value going up also as well, so reputation's going up. We're on the up right now, which is great. So yeah, we certainly hit our qualifying target. We easily hit our race target, and yeah, you know what? I cannot be disappointed with that as such, if you know what I mean. You just can't be disappointed. Now, time for some upgrades. We're only going to upgrade the one here, so that is that done right now. So there we go. That is the upgrade that we should have had this weekend. So hopefully the car will be pretty damn decent for the Italian Grand Prix, and let's see what we can do in the Italian Grand Prix, which will be coming out some point in the future, of course. Maybe some point next week or something. So just show you my tyre selection. You might forget it by the time we get to it. As you can see, it was on 97% AI, so I didn't change anything during that race. So yeah, you know, good race, solid race. A race I'll remember, and first Formula 1 points for not only George Russell, but for myself as well, and for the Williams team, which is always a bonus. So let's have a look. Did the upgrades work? Did we get what we deserved, or what we came for, if you know what I mean?
I know we were expecting some new developments this weekend, but some of them have failed quality control. Make sure you indicate what you'd like redeveloped via the workstation.
You're having an absolute
The more respected you are as a
laugh.
driver, the stronger we'll be during contract negotiations. In order to gain that respect throughout the paddock, you need to drive clean and bring home good results. Warnings and penalties from the stewards, on the other hand, will lose you respect. So be careful.
Yeah, you are having an absolute joke, aren't you? So let's have a look. What upgrade? Are you having a joke, Williams? So yeah, I know, right, not been funny. I know, obviously, we have now made some upgrades, and yeah, for sure they will benefit us, but that was a nice upgrade. Would have put us on par with a Mercedes engine, and now it needs redeveloping because it's failed R&D. Like, I might not even do that, if you know what I mean. I might actually wait until the next Grand Prix sort of thing. I might wait a little bit. So I'm just going to show you, obviously, the R&D tree. I haven't really talked about much of the R&D tree. So basically, this is the R&D tree. This is where you make upgrades to the car sort of thing quickly. And yeah, you know, obviously, these resource points, that's how you get the upgrades. As you can see, the big upgrades stand for, I believe this is a major. This is a major as well. So big upgrades are majors. And then you got other upgrades. I think major, medium, and I think there's something beyond major, which is obviously good. Now, obviously, as you can see, you know, right now in our development, we've gone down this route with the aerodynamics. The more you unlock, so you can't actually see where you're going. So there's like a shadow thing blocking your future vision, if you know what I mean. So you can only see where you're going short term, but not long term, if you know what I mean. And therefore, it's harder for the player to know where they want to develop. So right now, this is my plan of action. I'm going to actually get this upgrade for, you know, if we'll have over 3,000 resource points at the end of the Italian Grand Prix, near on 4,000. I'm going to actually buy this upgrade here, as you can see. Hopefully that will come. I may spend the money on upgrade here. However, I may not actually. I may actually go and get this upgrade here, which will obviously give us a major upgrade for aerodynamics department, which hopefully should help the aero side of aspects of the car, which would always be good. But yeah, upgrade. I know it is a game, and I know obviously it's like rolling a dice. Okay. Obviously, you just never know your luck, if you know what I mean. But obviously, it's just annoying that you invest. I've been waiting for this upgrade since Britain, which was 3 rounds ago, and then to know it failed. And yeah, to know now it's failed, and I have to wait now for probably another race at a Grand Prix where it probably ain't gonna benefit me, this upgrade, is a bit annoying. Like, it will benefit me through the season, but this is the upgrade I was most excited to, because obviously I know we've got a pretty damn decent engine anyway. As you can see, if we have a look at our engine, it is the second best engine on the grid. But it would have been nice to have the best engine rather than second best engine, because that's what that upgrade would have done. It would have given me the best engine on the grid. And at a circuit like Monza, the best engine is all important. Because honestly, this circuit is not about aero. It's not really about chassis that much. So you don't really need to worry about the chassis. You only need to really worry about the aerodynamic. Or the aerodynamics, I meant. You don't really need to worry about that. You really just need to worry about how fast of an engine you've got, if you know what I mean. Of course, you want to... Obviously, every Formula 1 car is very aerodynamic and is very light. But obviously, you know, it's just a shame. But, yeah, you know, we are catching up anyway to the rest, slowly but surely. It's going to take a very long few seasons to get there, to where we want to be. We'll see how long. Obviously, the plan was to score points this season, and we can tick that box. But now the plan is to score points in more than one Grand Prix. And as you can see, we are actually closing up to the back of Toro Rosso. We are closing back onto Sauber, so therefore it does indicate to me the car is becoming a lot more competitive. Yeah, the last few races, from Silverstone to here now, and we've actually had a decent success rate. 16th in Britain, 11th in Germany, 18th in Hungary, 7th in Belgium, so, and our first Formula 1 points. And yeah, you know, that is an achievement in itself, but obviously we're a long way still from the top 3. We're miles away. in terms of performance, but hopefully we will get there in the end. But we are, compared to where we started the season, in fact we're a lot closer now in terms of that aspects to the middle of the top 3 than we are, or where we were when we now finished. So we're coming into the final few races. In fact, we're in the last quarter now of the championship season, to let you know. We've only got Italy, Singapore, Russia, Japan, USA, Mexico, Brazil and Abu Dhabi. Obviously, I think Italy is going to be another good circuit for us. I hope it'll be another good circuit. But then, unfortunately, we got Singapore, and I just think Singapore is going to be one of them circuits that's going to be tricky. Russia, I don't know. It could be either. I think it's a bit like the start of the season. We'll just have to see how our car does. In terms of I guess Russia's a bit like, I would say Russia's a bit like Bahrain, and our car did okay there. It wasn't bad, if you know what I mean. Then we got Japan. I would say that's going to be a tricky one in terms of finishing in the points or coming close to points. USA, I don't know. It's a bit like Silverstone. Based on Silverstone, if I had to base it on that, I would say it's going to be, again, tricky to get in the points. Mexico, even though it is a circuit in theory, if you had to draw it, it's like Italy. Even though they do say it's not like Italy. It's actually a circuit that requires a lot of downforce. And teams genuinely run similar downforce levels to actually the Monaco GP. And we didn't do well there, but it's at the same time a different type of circuit because it's so open as a circuit. Then we got Brazil. I would say that will be a good circuit for us. And then Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi, yeah, it's an interesting one, Abu Dhabi. You can have a lot of different outcomes, I think, at Abu Dhabi. It's a bit like many other circuits. It's a bit of its own circuit in a way. And you can have many of outcomes, some surprise results at Abu Dhabi, some horrible results at Abu Dhabi, and some fantastic results at Abu Dhabi as well, you know. So it's just one of them circuits, but yeah, you know, so far, you know, anyway, can't be too miserable. In terms of as our driver record, we've now actually done, just to let you know, well, you know, we've driven 234 laps, to let you know. So yeah, quite fantastic. So soon we'll be on 300. Can't wait to get to 1,000, of course. Gonna be a lot when we get to 1,000. But yeah, total points, obviously, during our career so far, 6 only. 0 poles, 0 podiums at the moment, but 6 points so far. So, you know, would George Russell be happy to get his first points at the Belgium Grand Prix? I'm pretty sure anyone would. It's a classic track, but yeah, you know. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. See you all next time, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And once again, thank you for watching. Have a good evening. Have a good night. And see you all soon.